why don't we start laying down on your backs, and you can bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees open if you want, in Supta Baddha Konasana. Sometimes that feels a little too intense in my hips as like first thing. So if you're there and you're like, it's not great, you can also bend your knees and let the knees knock in and rest against one another. And then whatever you're doing with your legs, that's fine. Try taking your arms up above shoulder height. So maybe they're bent like goalposts, maybe all the way straight. And then just think about letting the arms sink heavy toward the ground. For some of you, shoulder tension might be showing up if your arms are floating a little bit, and you can broaden your elbows out a little bit, give yourself space to just be soft. I feel like this is always a good measure for me of how much stress and tension I'm starting off with carrying around, on how tight it feels to let the arms be heavy. We'll take about 5 more breaths here, turning your awareness to that breath. Feel it flowing in and filling up the lungs. Feel that softening release as you exhale. And then go ahead and bring your feet to the mat, knees bent if they're not there already. Take a moment and flatten your low back down into the ground. You might have to kind of scoop your pelvis a little bit, lengthening that space on the lower part of your spine. And then just start to let your knees rock side to side. Very gentle, not forcing anything to be anywhere. Take a few more of those rocks, side to side. And then bring the knees back up to center. Take a full body stretch. Reach the fingertips up, reach up through your toes. Like that first thing in the morning, waking up your body stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest. Curl your chin in, lift your shoulders off the mat. Rock yourself forward and back a few times until you're ready to come all the way up to seated. And then sitting tall, roll your shoulders down your back, make the chest broad, collarbones wide. Perfect. Reach up. And then right hand to the ground, left hand will stretch up and over. Inhale to rise back up. Exhale, stretch the other way. Inhale, rising up. Take that gentle twist, one hand back, one hand forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, reach tall. Circle your arms behind you, fingers to the ground. Puff up your chest. Inhale, reach up. And forward fold down the center, head heavy, shoulders dropped, jaw loose. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. And for my folks in the room, I will offer hands-on assists throughout. If you prefer not to be touched, that's totally fine. Just wave a hand and let me know that so I can give you that space. All right. Make your way back up. And let's just go over to all fours. Take a few cat-cows. Warm up the spine with that back and forth motion. Notice how things are feeling underneath the shoulder blades, the hips, the tailbone. Good. Keep going in that back and forth cat-cow motion, but add a little side to side, glancing over one shoulder, glancing over the other. Let it just be kind of intuitive and wiggly, exploring, noticing how things are in there today. Beautiful. Come back to stillness in the middle, and then send your right foot back behind you. Dig those toes into the mat and press your heel away so you're really getting the good calf stretch. But while that's happening, also firm up the arms, press the palms down, long neck and spine. One more breath in and out. And then lift the right foot in line with your hips, send the left arm forward. Exhale, elbow to knee, chin to chest. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. One more like that. Exhale. Inhale. And release. Good. All of that for the other side. Left foot goes back. Dig those toes into the ground. Press back through your heel. Strong arms, strong core. Looking great. One more breath in and out. And then again, lift the leg in line with your hips. Right arm goes forward. 3 times, elbow to knee, chin to chest. Extend everything out long. Good. Keep moving with your breath. Good. Super strong. Go ahead and release that back down to the mat. Take one more cat-cow just to kind of find center again. And then tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Checking a few key points of down dog. Hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hips width apart. So probably your hands are a little wider than your feet. On an inhale, come forward to high plank, stack shoulders over wrists. Holding steady and strong here. Yeah, you might need to move your feet a little forward or back, or hands a little forward and back. I think this is the perfect measure for down dog. So now keep your hands and feet there, but send your hips back. And there's your downward facing dog. Might feel a little bit long. Maybe your heels are up in the air. That's okay. Work the stretch on the back of the leg as your heels sink toward the mat. Nice. Come forward to that high plank once again. And slide the hips back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees a lot and hang out in a ragdoll. Bobble your head around. Grab opposite elbows if you like. Sway side to side. Breathe. Release your hands. Keeping a bend in the knees, roll yourself up to standing. Reach the arms out and up and look up. And then exhale, thumbs to heart. Give yourself a huge breath in and an even bigger breath out. Beautiful. Inhale, both hands high. And then we'll take a gentle twist, right arm back, left arm forward. Hips are still pointing forward towards the front of the mat, yeah? But then turn your head so you're looking towards that back thumb. One more breath there. And then inhale, come back to center, reach both hands high. Exhale the other way, twisting. Let that twist work through the upper back. Keep your hips pointing forward, gazing behind you. Come back to center, reach up tall. Elbows go wide, heart lifts high. Find that upper back bend. Head can drop back if it feels nice. Good, inhale, reach up. And forward fold down the middle. Inhale, lift halfway up, hold here. Maybe hands on shins, maybe higher, maybe lower, but we're looking for stretch in the back of the legs. Imagine you're doing cow pose. There's that like drop the belly, looking forward stretch. One more inhale here. And then soften and let it go. Good, take your right hand to your left ankle, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Twisting. Good. And again, you can work your gaze toward that top thumb. We're paying a little extra attention to some tension in the neck perhaps today and letting that go. So pay attention to where your head is moving and how it's moving. Good. Bring yourself back down through center and then switch sides, taking the twist in the other direction. Rolling the shoulder back into the twist, looking up to the ceiling. And then release down to center. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands forward to the top of the mat, downward facing dog once again. Huge breath in your nose, out your mouth. Good. Look forward and tiptoe to the top, folding in half at the front of your mat. Roll yourself up to standing, knees bent, soft and easy. Good. Reach out and up, look up, and land thumbs at heart. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling, and then just like we did, right hand back, left hand forward for your twist. We'll just move it a little faster. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, center, reach tall. Exhale, elbows wide, heart high. Reach up and forward fold down the middle. Inhale, halfway lift your flat back. Good. Take your hands down. Step your right foot all the way back and lower your knee to the mat. Inhale, reaching the hands up and sinking the hips forward. Yeah, absolutely. Add some padding under that back knee if you like. Breathe here. You could trace your arms back farther. Lift the chin. This becomes a little bit more of a back bend in that upper back space. Just make sure your core is strong. You're supporting your low back as you go. Last breath in here. And then exhale. Hands come down. Tuck your back foot. Step forward to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Stand up. Reach the hands high. Exhale, thumbs to heart. Again, inhale, reach up. Right hand back, left hand forward for your twist. Inhale, center, reach. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, center, reach up. Open your heart, elbows wide, shoulders hugging in. Inhale, reach. Forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands down, left foot back, lower your knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up and sink into your hips. Good. You've got about 5 breaths here. Exploring this shape. If your priority is like hips and opening up that lower body, then drop in. Let those hips fall forward. If you want a little more upper body, trace the arms back in space. Lift your sternum higher. Relax your jaw. Last big breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes. Step forward to the top. Inhale, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, fold in half. Rise all the way up. Reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, adding a little more fire. Big toes to touch. Sit down, chair pose. Stay with that chair. And then we add our twist. Right hand back, left hand forward. Inhale, center, reach up. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, center, reach. And then let it go, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands go down, right foot steps back. Keep your knee lifted this time, rising up for a high lunge. 5 breaths. You can work into the hips. You can work the core strength, belly button to spine. You can do shoulders soft down your back. Fingers wide awake. 2 more breaths. And then hands down, step forward to the top. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Big toes touching, sit low, chair pose. Good. Twist open, right hand back, left hand forward, or I may have said the wrong one. And then come back to the center and twist the other way. And then center, reach long. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands go down, left foot steps back. High lunge, rise up. You got it. 5 breaths to just be here. Good. Yeah, look at all that space. Is that okay? Good. And then press my hands up to the ceiling. Yeah, so elbows can straighten even more. Good. Still breathing. On an exhale, hands come down, frame that foot, step forward to the top of the mat, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand up, reach for the sky. And land, hands at your heart. Very nice. Okay, sit down, chair pose. You could take the upright twist that we've done or bring hands to heart and twist deeper across that thigh. We're gonna hold for 5 breaths. I probably should have told you that before you made your choice. You might wanna drop the hips lower. Weight is back towards the heels. Gaze can turn up towards the ceiling if that feels nice in your neck. Use your next breath to come back to center, reach through the fingers, and then exhale, forward fold. Take the feet to hips width apart, grab your big toes. Holding on, look forward, straighten your spine, straighten your legs, and then exhale, pull yourself down. 5 good breaths here. Good. Yeah, can you let it all rock forward that way? Yeah. Good. Can you straighten through your legs a touch more? Yeah, good. All right, release your toes, bring them back together, big toes touching. Sit down in that chair pose. Reach out through your fingers. Exhale, twist to the left. Upright or across the thigh, your choice. Everybody pull your right hip back in space. Yes, that makes both hips point forward, both knees pointing forward. Use your next breath to come to the center, reach through the fingers, and then that glorious exhale, let it go. Take your feet hips width apart. Either the same big toe grab or put your hands underneath your feet. Toes are all the way up by your wrists. Yeah, and then look forward, try to lengthen everything, and then hinge at the hips as you fold. Good. Breathe. To avoid adding any tension into your neck, always take a moment and check in with the jaw, wiggle it around. Wiggle around your eyes and eyebrows, your cheeks. Maybe kind of bobble your head around a little bit. Keep it loose. Releasing your hands, halfway lift to a flat back. And then exhale, hands to the mat, take yourself back to a high plank. Hold in that high plank, navel to spine, super strong. Puff up and push the ground away. Look forward, tip forward, chaturanga, bend those elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Holding in this upward facing dog, really puff up your chest, peel that space around the heart open, lengthen your neck and your throat, strong abs. And then go back to downward facing dog. Breathe. About 3 breaths in down dog. Lift your right leg up and back. Step it in between your hands, high lunge, reaching up through your fingertips. Good. Option to twist with the body upright or hands to your heart and twist across the leg. Your choice. 5 breaths. Roll the top shoulder open. Maybe you look either up to the ceiling or back to your hand if your chest is upright. Power through your legs. On an inhale, come back up to high lunge, reaching up through your fingertips, and then exhale, open into a warrior 2. Good. Rooting down through your feet, opening the legs wide. Pull your belly button back towards your spine, stack your ribs over your hips. Flip that front palm, reverse, reach back. Good. Extended side angle, right arm to thigh, left arm reaches up and over. And then work this for the twist. Roll the barrel of your chest open towards the ceiling. Good. Could you keep twisting and twisting and twisting until, like your whole rib cage is pointing up at the ceiling? I don't know if that's actually anatomically possible, but that's where we're going in that general direction. Nice. Use an inhale to rise back up. Exhale right there in your warrior 2. Big, huge breath in, and then cartwheel your hands down. Go back to downward facing dog. You can take the chaturanga and the up dog, or you can opt out. Take care of yourself. Good. We'll meet up in that down dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot reaching up and back. Step it in between your hands. Rise up to your high lunge. Strong and smooth. Root down into your feet. Make your choice about your twist and then twist to the left, either torso upright or not. Oh, that thing just spoke up. Three more breaths here. Strong back leg. Could you straighten it out? Use your inhale to come back to the center, reach high, and then open to warrior 2, spinning your back heel down. Hips, ribs, and shoulders all pointing over at the wall, the long edge of the mat. Flip that front palm reverse, stretch it out. Extended side angle, arm to thigh, reach the right arm up and over. Breathe. Good, so this time we have the right side of your rib cage rolling open and back. As you do that, watch out for that front knee. It likes to tip inward. Can you keep it stacked over your ankle? Yeah. Can you engage those low abdominal muscles, the ones below the belly button? Perfect. Use your next breath to rise back up, warrior 2. Exhale right there. Cartwheel your hands down and make your way back to downward facing dog. Good. 2 more breaths to sync up. We inhale. We exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Right leg reaches up and back. Step it in between your hands. Warrior 2 right away. Spin that back heel down. Rise up. Good. Familiar shapes. They all just kind of build on each other. Flip that front palm. Reach it back. Stretch the side of your body. Good. This time, keep reaching back and then straighten your front leg. Good. Keep reaching back and get long from fingers all the way down to your toes. Then we go to triangle. Rise up. Shift out over your front foot. Then let the right hand drop and the left hand lift. Good. Still breathing those great big breaths here. Draw your shoulders back, draw your rib cage back so it's stacking over the top of the right leg. Good, is that okay? Does it feel like you're gonna tip over backwards? Push up right here. Use your next inhale to rise all the way up. Turn both feet to the long edges of your mat. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look up, stretch your throat and your heart. Breathe right there. On the next exhale, forward fold. Hands can stay bound and go up and over your head. They could also drop to the floor. Check that your knees have like the tiniest little bit of micro bend in them so you're not hyperextending through the knee joint. And then everybody wiggle your chin around, loosen up your jaw, loosen up your eyes and eyebrows. If you've got a ponytail, shake it around a little bit. Yeah. Release your hands down. Bend your knees and slowly roll back up to standing. Let your chin be the last thing to lift. And then warrior two to the front of your mat. Great big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down and find your way back to downward facing dog. Breathe in your nose. Open your mouth, sigh. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg reaches up and back. Step it in between your hands. Warrior two. Flip that palm reverse. Keep reaching back, but straighten your front leg. Good. Pull your belly button to spine, lengthen your tailbone down and away, and then rise up, reach out over your left toes, triangle pose. See if you could feel your inner thighs kind of squeezing in toward one another. And that gives you a little bit of like lift and lightness for the rest of your body. Good. And then can you push this up right here? Yeah. Use your next inhale to rise all the way up. Turn both feet to the long edge of your mat. Once again, interlace the hands behind your back. Look up, really like pull your chest up and open. And then exhale, forward fold. Again, hands can stay bound or not, your choice. Good. Consider that your head could touch the ground on purpose, not because you fell, in this forward fold. Good. Think about tilting your pelvis. So it's like you're trying to point the bottom of your butt up at the ceiling, and that'll deepen the stretch into the hips and hamstrings even more. Okay, release your hands if they were bound. Bend your knees, roll yourself to standing nice and easy. Warrior two to the front of your mat. Give it a huge breath. And then exhale, hands down, go back to downward facing dog. This time when you find down dog, we're gonna drop the knees and go right to a child's pose. And then settle into your child's pose. Maybe wiggle a little bit, let the hips get heavy and soft. Rock the forehead back and forth a bit. Let the shoulders go. Let them go. Check back in with yourself. Listening into your breath. We'll stay down here in child's pose, but walk both hands all the way over to the right edge of your mat. And then you can add some to that stretch by just subtly pulling back on your left hip, kind of leaning over into that stretch. Good. Walk both hands all the way to the other side. Lean over into the right side of your body. Drop that right hip a little extra heavy. Beautiful. Come back into the center. Make your way up to downward facing dog. Use the next 2 or 3 breaths to get there. No rush. Everybody breathe in. Big breath out. Big inhale. Bigger exhale. Good. Take a tiptoe walk up to the top of the mat. Take your time. When you get there, feet hips width apart, roll up to standing. Reach out and up. Look up. And land your hands at your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, we're going to do a little bit of balancing. We'll build one thing on top of the next, on top of the next. So starting with feet hips width apart, look forward and try to find something that's not moving and lock your gaze, your drishti, on that spot. Take your hands up to the ceiling and then lift your heels off the mat. Good. So the work here, well, there's lots of work, but see if you can take the wobble out of the ankles. Spreading the toes wide, press equally down through each toe, through the toe mound where they meet the foot. Make sure you're still breathing. And then we'll do 3 more breaths. If you want more challenge, you can close your eyes. Perfect. Come on down when you're ready. Shake that off a little bit. All right, then we'll shift all the way into the left foot. Keep that drishti focus. Lift your right knee. Turn it over a little bit sideways. Make it a figure 4. Foot flexed, hands to the heart. And then we'll start to sink. You can lean forward. You can send your hips back. And there's a whole progression there. You're welcome to take it to wherever you want it to go. Maybe forearms go all the way down and rest on your shin. Perhaps hands to the ground. Perhaps the arm balance. We've got 3 more breaths wherever you are. And then you have to make your way out of it in reverse order. With just as much control and breath and focus. And then bring your feet to the ground and shake it all off. Then go for the other side. Put all the weight into the right foot. Lift the left knee. Make it your figure 4, keeping the foot flexed, hands to the heart. Start your sinking, sending your hips back, leaning your chest forward. You might just stay right there because that stretch feels so nice in the hips. Maybe you drop the hands. Maybe you press palms to the mat. Good. If you're arm balancing, look out past the front edge of your mat so your neck stays long and your head counterbalances your butt. Slowly start to rise back up. Bring the feet to the ground. Give yourself a huge breath in and let it out. Beautiful. Okay, one more balancing. We'll stretch the front of the thighs at the same time. Weight goes in the left foot, left hand goes high. Right elbow at your waist. Drop your hand down, grab your right foot. Trying to work so that your knees are coming right next to each other. You're getting that big stretch as you pull your heel in towards your butt. And you're keeping the rib cage stacked over the hips, so there's that strong core engagement. And you're still breathing and enjoying yourself, because it's just yoga. All right, if all of that is happening and then you want to take it somewhere else, make it a dancer pose. Kick your hand back into your foot, kick your foot into your hand, reaching forward. And then let go of all of the rules. Get as big and glorious and open as you want it to be. Just make sure you're still breathing. Such a pretty pose, right? And then let it all go. Come back down, shake it off. Shift the weight into your right foot. Right hand goes up, left elbow to the waist. Grab your foot. Stack everything. It's as if you're in mountain pose, Tadasana, except you just happen to be holding onto one foot. So ribs are over the hips. Tailbone is long. Good. Then go ahead and play, kicking it back, opening things up. Good. I'm sure many of you have heard my little thing I do in here. If you can see yourself in the mirror, peek in the mirror and see if you can see your foot lifting up over that back shoulder. It's just a random, silly little thing I do. And then let it go when you're ready. Come on down, shake it all out. Good. Let's take your feet wide toward the edges of the mat and let your toes hang off the sides. Hands at your heart. Sink down into your hips. Breathe right there. Maybe wiggle a little bit. Let the hips arrive in that space. Good. 2 more breaths here. And then reaching your hands forward, lowering your seat, plop, come up into Navasana. You can also put your hands back behind you. Tall spine, shins parallel to the ground. Breathe. And 5 times, we're going to lower 1 inch off of the mat and lift ourselves back up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to lower everything 1 inch off of the mat. Take your hands up and over your head. Flutter your feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Take a moment. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. Feel your tailbone down on the ground, your low back down. Go ahead, and then we'll back bend. 3 rounds of back bend. So starting with bridge pose, feet to the mat, knees are bent. Hands can reach down so fingertips are by your feet. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, lift your hips up. Good. 5 breaths. Strong legs. Strong breath. And then come down, nice and easy. Good, take a little wiggle, maybe send the knees side to side, just neutralize your low back and glutes. All right, and then you can take that same bridge pose, or if you'd like to explore your wheel, bring your hands next to your shoulders, fingers pointing back to your feet. Exhale your breath out. Inhale, lift something. Hips. Maybe everything. Good, still breathing, whatever you're doing. Again, strong legs, no matter where you are. Coming down safely, slowly. Rock it out a little bit, soften up your low back. All right, last round, your choice, bridge, wheel. Maybe you slide a block under your tailbone for some supported bridge. Go ahead and go there. Take about 5 breaths. I'll meet you on the other side. Perfect. All right, everybody make your way back down. Hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Woof, and it's already that time. Okay. So from here, hug your right knee into your chest, straighten your left leg down to the ground. Roll that knee around in your hip for just a moment. Pull it open over to the right, so we get that one last check-in on the inner thigh. And then guide it the opposite way across your body all the way to the left to twist. Eyes can turn all the way over to your right hand. Shoulders soft. Come back into the center. Switch your legs. Hug the left. Straighten the right. Wiggle it around a little bit. Let it open over towards the left. And then take your twist, crossing over to the right. Come back into the center. Hug both knees into your chest. Everything gets a good squeeze. Maybe you lift your head, neck, and shoulders. And then everything releases to rest. Giving yourself these last few minutes of your practice to simply be still. Letting your nervous systems just rest and relax. And then without changing anything, just notice, how are you? How's your body? How's your breath? How's your mind? And let some movement back in through fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Rock your head from side to side. One last check-in on that neck. Take a full stretch, arms reaching overhead. And then turn over onto one side. Use this last moment of practice, this time to yourself. Just tell yourself thank you. Tell yourself, good job. Say something nice to yourself. Then when you're ready, rise back up to seated. Eyes can close, hands rest by your heart. And we'll close out together with 3 breaths. We inhale and we exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bowing forward, we honor this practice of yoga for all it has to teach us. Mind, body, spirit, on the mat and off. Thank you all so much for sharing your lunch hour with me. Have a great day, have a great weekend. Turn and say hi to a new friend as you go. Introduce yourselves. That way you'll know someone next time you come. I'm Jess, by the way. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.